All right, if you've got solar panels on your roof or you've even thought about getting them, listen up. Because the deal is changing in a big way. A new regulation coming in 2025 is about to completely flip the script on the financials of going solar. So let's break it down, what's happening, and what does it actually mean for your wallet?
Okay, so first up, let's get on the same page with a key term you're going to hear a lot: prosumer. It sounds a little jargony, but it's really just a mashup of producer and consumer. Basically, in the energy world, it means you're not just a customer buying power, you're also making your own, usually with solar panels. And you might even be selling your extra juice back to the grid.
Now, to really get why these new changes are such a big deal, we've got to take a quick look back. Let's rewind and see how things used to work. So, the old deal, it was pretty simple, really. You were looking at a 7-year contract, they'd sort out your credits every quarter, and here's the kicker. The buyback rate was a really nice 27 rupees for every unit of power you sent back to the grid. Not bad, right? And the engine driving that whole old system, that adjustment mechanism we just mentioned, it was a concept called net metering. And trust me, this simple but super powerful idea is what made solar a financial no-brainer for so many people. All right, so that's the before picture. Let's talk about the after, because this prosumer regulation for 2025, it's about to shake things up completely. So here's what the new world looks like. And the very first thing you need to notice is that there's a split, a dividing line. The rules are not the same for everybody anymore. They've drawn a line in the sand between existing consumers, that's folks who already have solar, and new consumers, anyone who installs their system after these new rules kick in. You know, if we boil this whole thing down, there are really two massive changes that jump out. First, we're ditching net metering for something called net billing. And second, and this is a big one, if you're new to the solar game, the price you get paid for your extra power, it's about to take a nosedive. Okay, so I've thrown around the terms net metering and net billing a bunch. And yeah, they sound kind of similar, but the difference they make on your electricity bill is absolutely huge. So let's zoom in and really unpack what's going on here. All right, check this out. Side by side, think of net metering like this. It was a simple one-for-one swap. Your meter literally spun backward when you sent power out. For every unit you exported, you got 1 unit of credit. Easy. Net billing? Totally different ballgame. It's like having 2 separate tabs open. You get a bill for every single unit of energy you pull from the grid at the full retail price. Then, separately, you get a credit for what you send back. But, and this is key, you get paid a much, much lower wholesale price for it. It's not a swap anymore. Oh, and for new folks getting into solar, the changes don't stop at the billing. First off, the size of the system you can install is smaller. You can't put up quite as many panels as you used to. Plus, the contract period gets cut from 7 years down to 5, which gives you a bit less certainty in the long run. And finally, they're settling your credits every month instead of every quarter. Why does that matter? Well, you can't build up a big bank of credits during the super sunny months to carry you through the cloudier ones. Okay, so we've talked about the mechanics. Let's get to the bottom line, the part that really matters to your wallet. We need to talk about the single biggest change that hits your return on investment, that buyback rate. So remember, under the old rules, the price you got was a pretty healthy 27 rupees. For every extra unit your panels churned out and sent back to the grid, you got a credit worth 27 rupees. Simple. All right, you ready for the new rate? For new consumers, that is. That number drops from 27 all the way down to just 11 rupees. Yeah, that is a huge cut in what your solar power is worth when you sell it back. I mean, just look at that side by side. It really paints a picture, doesn't it? We're talking about a drop from 27 all the way down to 11. For anyone just getting into solar, the financial reason to send power back to the grid has just been slashed by more than half. Now, this is super important, so listen closely. If you already have solar, you are mostly shielded from this. As an existing consumer, your rate only dips a little to around 25 or 26 rupees. Still pretty good. This massive drop to 11 rupees, that's really just for the new installations moving forward. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's this. The payback period, the time it takes for your solar panels to pay for themselves, it's going to get a lot longer for anyone installing a new system. The whole financial equation has been rewritten. And that leaves us with the big, lingering question, doesn't it? With the value of selling power back to the grid basically tanking, the whole strategy changes. Now it's all about using as much of your own solar power as you can right when you produce it. Maybe that means adding batteries to the mix. So for new consumers, does going solar still make clear financial sense? Well, that's the brand new calculation everyone's going to have to make for themselves.